So, hello everyone, I'm wondering with my preview, we kind of the guide and my recommendation of next anime season. So of course it's my opinion, which was right, but still though, we're talking about some animes here and we're going by popularity, by the general popularity. So in the beginning here, mainly the big animes gonna be right, and then after a middle part, there's probably gonna be some really good animes people are unfortunately gonna miss. And for example, Shounen was, in my opinion, the best anime last year. And that in the popularity wise, like before they actually aired, popularity wise was like down in the middle, maybe even kind of bottom third or so, yeah. Like it was definitely not expected to be as good, right? But anyway, I'll say right away that my incoming anime that I like the most probably is gonna be Promised Neverland. So I'll say right away beginning here, so I'll comment later here in the list. But so Promised Neverland, that's the new Shounen anime, right? And I'm a big Shounen fan. You know, I do Fairy Tail, One Piece, right? My Academia, so hard now because I read Bleach, I read Naruto, and etc. Yeah, so, and of course Black Clover currently, which I am like one of the few people that keep doing Black Clover. I love Black Clover, yeah. I think it's really, really good. So anyway, Promised Neverland then is the big new Shonen anime. I haven't just read the manga myself, so I'm completely fresh on it, but I have a lot of people that I know that love it, so I am definitely for that anime. And it's basically is about children. They're kind of kept away from the unknown outside, like an orphanage, and they have a good life, and they don't know how the world actually is. The kind of the premise. I won't talk too much about. I won't spoil too much, but yeah. So anyway, let's go through the list then. So first of all, Sword Art Online, right? I am skipping that since what's this last of last season, but yeah, I mean. Sword Art Online, yeah, Netto Rare, and I've never been a big fan. Okay, not because there's like the popular thing to be, not whatever. Let's go on. Then we have Slime, very very good anime. Absolutely recommend it. It's fantastic. It's massive. It's big. No, but seriously, I was with a Slime. This is a very very good anime. I put Blue here as animes I have already been seeing, right? I mean, kind of keeps it. Bloom is complete, right? It's like it's some definite anime I'm gonna watch at the end. It's one of my favorite animes right now. Absolutely, I will keep watching it next season. I hope everyone else can do it as well. It's very, very good anime. I mean, if you haven't seen it yet, it's about a guy, right? He dies. The isekai comes into slime because of slime in the next universe. Slime usually are a very low level enemy, right? Like a Dragon Quest, like level 1 enemies, but he's like the best slime ever. So it's like that kind of people don't look down on him. Yeah, I like also that he's like, how to say it? He's a very intelligent main character, which I really like with Slime, Rimuru. He's like very much like, wait a minute, like me as well. Like actually he's got very thinking and all of that good stuff, right? So it's not the typical isekai that just kind of lands there. He's overpowered though, I guess, which seems to be the new isekai thing. But still though, absolutely recommend it. One of the best anime system ever. Let's go on. So, Fairy Tail, also anime going currently right now. Put it on green because like when Fairy Tail is gonna go forever, it's gonna be like probably 3-4 eps. It's gonna be a lot of episodes. And I mean, Fairy Tail, it's just Fairy Tail, right? It's just this is Fairy Tail, right? I mean, I love it. I think Fairy Tail is super funny. It's super ecchi though. We've seen the last episode. It's like it starts with Yuvia, Kana, and so on. They're naked in like an onsen, right? And they're like, "Oh, touch my oppa, Kana-chan," and like that's how it starts. And Gael flies into Levi's, yeah, like that's how it starts, right? And then we see like Brandish, and she's half naked, and it's like, and Soraya and Angel. It's ecchi, it's action, it's to the extreme, it's Fairy Tail. I love it. But it's very, very, it's very simplistic. And then, okay, so here's a new anime, first new anime next season. So, isekai. It's so much isekai. Where's my Aqua Cry button? That's my other. It's okay, it's not isekai anime. It's light novel, right? So, as most isekais are. A guy dies, or whatever, he's suddenly a new parent. I don't care. He gets into another universe. And there are 4 legendary heroes, and he is the shield hero. Yeah. So he's the weakest hero, defensive hero, right? And he has to kind of get into the system and so on. I'm gonna give it a chance, but honestly, I say it every season, but I'm tired of isekais. But it's always like one isekai, like Slime, that's really, really good, then I'm like, wow, slime's awesome. But otherwise, it's like, I say again that Konosuba is the greatest isekai ever. It's in my opinion, the best comedy anime ever made. And I've seen like at least 100 comedy animes. I love Slice of Life comedy animes. I've seen them all. And until I saw Konosuba, I usually say like maybe like Genshin was my favorite, or maybe like Asomaganta Yosen, some kind of old ones. I'm really weak for Genshin. It's like it's an anime about people that are like nerds and they have like a club of manga and anime games. It's like a down to earth slice of life. It's like the best. Anyway, Konosuba is the best isekai. This one, I give it a chance. Hope you watch me, give it a chance. But we will see. We'll see if it's good or not. I'm just like isekai. It's always gonna be at least one isekai. Continues last season, right? Season 2 yet, so yeah, talking about that. Then of course Mob Psycho. So Mob Psycho season 2 then, of course, is made by one same person who has done One Punch Man, right? Of course, he can't really draw, but you know what I mean. Obviously, a very hyped anime. That being said, though, after this, the spring, right, One Punch Man is coming out, right? One Punch Man, My Hero Academia, and Attack on Titan, right? It's coming out, right? If I can remember correctly now. So that is like, yeah, spring next year is gonna be crazy. I'm not saying that Mob Psycho is bad. I'm gonna watch it. I think it's pretty good. I think it's a good anime, but it's like it is no One Punch Man in my opinion. I stand by it. I think One Punch Man is amazing. One of my absolute favorite anime. I think One's a great author though, so I think Mob Psycho is good too. But I don't know. For me, it's always like I just want more One Punch Man. I'm sorry. I'm so hyped for next season. We will finally have One Punch Man, and then I'm gonna do, of course, videos about One Punch Man and those other animes like My Academia as well and so on. Also, that's my favorite character, Mius, you know. So yeah. Then we have Kakegurui. Kakegurui, then I truly hate. I really, really hate Kakegurui. I stand by that. It's I got so much hate for that matter last year because I hated it. So it's like makes sense. But basically, when I see Kakegurui, I see Kaiji, right? But it's just way worse. So Kakegurui, now after a year, and I have taken a step back, I can say that Kakegurui is like an okay anime. I think it's still not very good. I think it's just mainly an ecchi anime. You watch girls getting orgasms playing card games, to be what it is. And it's one of the most disappointing things I heard in my life, honestly. Because people are like, oh, this is new Kaiji. It's like a female Kaiji. They're playing games. And it's like, but then you watch this anime, and it's like, this is just crap compared to Kaiji. That being said, Kaiji here, right? Kaiji is, in my opinion, and I absolutely buy that, is the best psychological and best gambling anime ever done. Just straight up. Kaiji is the best anime of that genre that's ever been produced. That is my absolute opinion on that thing. And I won't even discuss it now, but Kaiji is a masterpiece. This is one of these two is a little bit of the book, but Kaiji is just amazing. If you watch Tonegawa right now, Tonegawa is so funny, it's ridiculously funny. But yeah, Kaiji and also Akagi is amazing. But in my word, it's like Kaiji, one out, and then Akagi. So I think Out is better than Akagi. But anyway, basically everything they do in Kakegurui is what they don't do in Kaiji. The problem with Kakegurui is there's no stakes on it. I'm still gonna watch it, and I think most people are gonna do it. But I'm gonna watch it and be like, man, this is not Kaiji. That's what I'm gonna do every week. No, what the problem with Kakegurui is that they have really boring wins, I think, for the main character. Because she beats them by saying, oh, this is your sheet that I understood from the outside of the anime. So for example, she faces the girl as the one, right? And we as the viewer can't understand how she beats her because she has like a mask in her hands, and that is shown in the next episode in a flashback. And the flashback shows what we saw last episode, but for the viewer, we cannot see the camera like down here, and then we see it in the flashback, the camera suddenly up here, and it gives more information than only the main character has. Because a psychological anime is about mystery, right? It's about mystery genre, it says up here, right? Mystery genre means that you're supposed to be able to find out who is the murderer, who is the cheater of the gamble and so on, right? But in Kakegurui, in my opinion, that can't, this is a fact. It can't always be done because you don't show you all the information, right? They show you the main character, she has information that we as the viewer doesn't have in a lot of cases. It reminds me of, and I got a Christie old book, when she's like, oh, you have to be the murderer, and then the viewer, the reader's like, what? How can he be the murderer? There's no info in this thing. Why would he be the murderer? Like, how is the build up? What did I miss reading the book, right? And she's like, oh, it's because I know that the train station from London goes like this and this. And it's like, what? It's like, I guess you could figure that out if you lived in like the 19th century London, like 1830. Yeah, like, it doesn't make any sense because you need to have information that you don't have in the actual book. And, you know, it's like a very, very obscure knowledge that no one's gonna have, right? And that I think is bad writing, in my opinion, because that's like, how is the reader gonna figure anything out? So you like, it feels like you cannot figure out who the murderer is by reading the book until you get to the end. That's not a good mystery. You can't even, like, you know, puzzle and hoop together. Kakegurui is even worse. Kakegurui has like, in that book at least, it's like, well, if you have like a really obscure knowledge, you might figure it out. Kakegurui is like, they withhold information from us several battles in one, so we couldn't solve the issue until she's revealed that extra information we don't have. So I say that I'm like, people gonna watch the anime video and say it's not good enough. But in Kaiji, you can watch Kaiji and be like, this is his shit, I understand how. And you can figure out how he's gonna do it too, right? And it's much better in the monologue, how Kaji's gonna play it, and so on. In Kakegurui, you just kind of do it. And also, I mean, generally, in Kaiji, they play like the Janken game, right? For like 5 episodes at least. It's 1 episode in Kakegurui. So yeah, Kaiji, they really spend a lot of time on one game each, and they're very, very, very logical. Compared to like one house play baseball, they play like 10 episodes one match, right? It's like real baseball, yeah. But that is great in my opinion. That's a really good logical sport animes. Kakegurui is more like, you wanna see girls getting their faces on when they're gonna play a card and they like wet themselves. Like, that's Kakegurui. And they have like very, very, very simplistic Kaiji. And they also use games on display. Like, they had the Indian poker game and they didn't explain it. It was really weird. It was really weird. And it was Team Putty, which actually is a favorite game. Anyway, Data Lives in 3. Let's go on it. Okay, Radiant. I absolutely not a Raimi's anime. Kakegurui, at least I have like a hate-love relationship with. The Kakegurui, I actually kind of like Kakegurui, honestly. Go back, I kind of like Kakegurui, and also kind of don't like it, right? So it's kind of like this like bad girlfriend or boyfriend. We kind of like, I do kind of love him, but it's kind of bad to me, and it's kind of like that, right? With Kakegurui, I kind of like hating it. Actually, there are a few scenes in Kakegurui, like the nail scene, if you know what I mean, which I actually really enjoyed. It's a horrible scene, but I also really enjoyed it. So Kakegurui at least has a kind of seinen vibe to it, and it works out sometimes, right? It's very enjoyable sometimes, in my opinion. But Radiant, this is just ignore the anime. This to me is the most disappointing anime last season. As I said earlier, I love Shounen anime, so I want to love Radiant, okay? I spent the whole Black Clover, like the first, I don't know, 5 episodes of Black Clover, they were kind of like that, right? They weren't good, they were worse than Radiant. Or maybe, yes, no, in some aspects they were worse. But Black Clover, I liked Asta right away, even though it's screaming, but I liked his premise. And I could see the potential, and I kept watching it, and I love it right now. But Radiant, I just got bored from it, right? Radiant is much worse than Black Clover in the beginning, because in Black Clover it's like, okay, I really hate this thing, but I really love this thing. So you can see it's more of this thing later on, I'm gonna love this anime, right? So you kind of see, you kind of like, okay, this is worth watching more, because if it goes like this, right, I'm gonna love it more and more and more. This is a bit less, and this is gonna be more and more. So I kind of keep watching the anime, because I see the potential, I see how it's growing, the author, the studio, they're making it better and better, right? But Radiant is just kind of like, yeah. It's more like, I don't hate it for a second, but it's also nothing I love, honestly. So again, I think Black Clover and Radiant is a very good example how not to do it. I mean, they're both pretty bad at the start. Let's one, Black Clover, I love you, Black Clover, I love Asta, I love Noel, I love Yami, I really love Yami. But the beginning isn't very strong, right? But at least it kind of seeds the dream of a good anime there, and you feel that it's worth spending your time there, because you hate some things and you love something. Kind of like Kakegurui for me. Like, I kind of hate and love Kakegurui at the same time, right? So I kind of want to watch it more though. I mean, I was negative before, but it's also because Kaiji, in my opinion, is the best anime of the genre, and Kaiji, I would argue, is the best anime ever, basically, in my opinion. So when I compare it to Kaiji, I'm quite harsh though. But for Radiant, it's just it's like nothing. It's just kind of boring. It's not super interesting. The battles are kind of lame. The main character is just very, very generic. Showing the main character, and he has a hidden power up, but they don't explain why. There's no real drive for him. His goal is understandable to understand, but not why he has that goal, because the backstories really resolve it. Then there's a kind of annoying side characters, and there's a lot of exposition of like the bad guys with no points whatsoever. What's this more? I don't know. The fights are also very generic. It's kind of like, yeah, punch, lightning bolts. So it's kind of like, yeah, they're boring. Well, I do love Melee though. I do love Melee. And actually, I really want to like Radiant because I have a lot of family in like French and Belgium. Not so much my family, but basically my cousins, they read Radiant on French, right? There's the French coming into, yeah, so they read it on French, they like it. And everyone tells me that it's better to actually read it. The anime is much poorer, and I can see why, because it has a lot of fillers too. It's really early fillers in Radiant, and that's really, really bad, really boring. It's kind of like, you can't really hate it, it's just kind of boring fillers in Radiant. It's just kind of that, that's kind of boring. But yeah, it's absolutely skips anime. This is the most read anime, I would say, the whole season here. Because Radiant has been extremely disappointing for me, at least. And I think that everyone is the same. I think it's like universally people are feeling it. This is a really bad adoption. It's boring. And I taught people, to my cousins, they're like, it's much better than the manga. It's very likely is. And I want to like it. Because I know they read the French show. Yeah. But it's the biggest red for me. The biggest red for me. Absolutely no comment. Then we have, of course, Promised Neverland. Talked about it earlier. This is, for me, though, the biggest, personally, because I like Shounen, right? This is a Shounen anime, not of course an older Shounen anime, but this is definitely the anime I think I'm gonna be the most hype about next season. Personally, I think it's gonna be one of the most hyped anime next season. It looks really good. Everyone I talk to, they love the manga. I have a lot of friends that read, Shonen Jump and so on, weekly, right? And I read some of the Shonen Jump and so on. But yeah, I think this definitely is this is my number one for next season. So I mean, here's my Shonen Jump image. Yeah, Shonen Jump, right? Yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Yeah. So this is the new one. I wouldn't say it's the newest, biggest star in Shonen Jump. I don't know the sell figures, but it's one of the newest classic Shonen Jump. Right? Yeah, so it's gonna be great. Definitely my number one. And yeah, then we have Kaguya-sama Wants to Confess to. This I have read a little bit, and I read the spin-off a little bit, and I think they're really funny. So it's also one of the animes in my book. It's going to be one of the highest, the best animes coming this season. So it's a very interesting comedy, slice of life anime, little joke and so on. So basically there are two students, this is more than this, but it is the best premise. There are two students, right, and they're both super geniuses, as I said here, and they love each other, but they're both too proud to admit it. They're both like I have to treat him to tell me that he loves me before I tell him that I love him, right? So they're kind of like trying to make the other one, and they're both aware of that she clearly likes me. Why can't she just tell me she likes me? Yeah, and they both feel that, right? And it's like a very interesting, it's very, very funny. And the spin-off, I read a little bit, is really, really funny. So this is my opinion, or I hope at least, it's probably gonna be the funniest anime next season. I think it is probably, at least in my book, the most comedic anime. So I'm looking forward to it. Absolutely recommend. I think it's gonna be a great anime next season. Good, but yeah, very, very good anime. Absolutely. And then we have this anime, Domesticated Kanojou, which is like, man, this anime, it's to me, it reminds me of Californication when I read the premise on it. I haven't seen it. I read the first chapter before I did this thing, and I've seen the trailer and so on, right? So basically, it's about a guy. He wants to have sex with his teacher, or his love teacher, but obviously wanna do her because he's a high school student, and she's like cheerful and awesome and so on, right? And he can't do it because she's like his sensei, right? But she's just a little older. Instead, he meets kind of gloomy, kind of like whatever girl and they have sex. So he has sex right away too. This is a character that actually managed to have sex right away episode 1 though. So this is good too. And also very similar to Kaguya-sama for that matter. And they have sex right away with this little girl. And then of course his father remarries like the next day. Because story, right? Kind of like Citrus. And then suddenly he has to live with both of these girls, right? Both the sensei he's in love with and the woman he had this other girl. But yeah, the other high school girl he had sex with last day is apparently now his family member, right? So yeah, it's very similar. I don't want to spoil. If you see episode 1 of Californication, and I actually really like Californication, it's a great TV show. And yeah, it's very similar to Californication. What I think is premise basically. So basically he has to live with the woman he used had sex with, right? And all their kind of like family. And then the other woman he's in love with is also his family now, and so on, right? And it's like a weird triangle drama, and you know, and he feels like guilty that he lost his virginity to this girl because he's one to have sex and now they kind of family. Yeah, like I am absolutely on board on this anime. I'm just like, ooh, this to me. I love this weird, intriguing family drama. I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be great. This is actually for me. This is one of the number. This is for me is like top probably drama animes. I'm looking forward to this anime a lot. Yeah, Domestic Girlfriend. Yeah, I'm like, this is interesting. This is really interesting. I also, again, I love Calification though. But I actually really like Calification when it was new. So yeah, I think it's good. Then we have this anime. It's like a horror anime. And why is it so bad? I love horror animes. I love horror animes. But usually, I guess I'm like, I've become more and more of a hentai over the years. So I kind of like horror animes more when it's like Monster Musume or Itsuno Watashi or something. Basically, today, horror animes has to have monsters. But it's not actually today though, because when I was a kid, I grew up with Tensai-tachi, right? I love Tensai-tachi. That's the best horror anime ever. No, but that's the first horror anime. It's a very good anime, and their Tensai course has like aliens, right? Different aliens. They all look kind of human, but they're aliens though, but they look very different. So I don't know. In that aspect, I kind of like horror more, where it actually is like, oh, this is like a a tree girl, this is a centaur, or Citrus is a great character. But anyway, yeah. This is horror instead. Go means fire, right? So Go-toubun no Hayamo, it's basically is a 5, right? 5 quadruples, right? And they are all, or quadruples, and they are all being schooled by this really intelligent kid. But he's really poor. He's gonna be their extra teacher for his classmates. They're all then 5 sisters, right? And they're all gonna like fall for him or something like that. So it's an interesting anime. I'm giving it a chance. I love horror animes, and they're all sisters. She's a little more etchy in that, I guess. But I do prefer it though when it's like alien girls. I do prefer when it's supernatural girls, definitely. Sakushinu, I haven't season 2 yet. I know a lot of people want me to season 2. I haven't seen it yet. Season 3. But it is a good anime though. I love it. Okay. Says at work. This is special. It's not season 2. It's like a very short episode. Of course we're gonna see it. Great anime. Very good anime. Yeah. So, Dororo, yeah. This I think was like a really good anime. Also one of my, and Mappa is really good too. Yeah, Mappa did, in actual Mappa very very good. And this then is about. This is actually first of all like a very old story, an old manga. So it's done by. You can go back and actually see Dororo from like the 60s. It's very old, and of course this one is a newer one though, much better graphic and so on, right? But so Dororo then is about how to describe it. A father sacrificed his son's organs and body parts for demons. So 48 demons. I think it's 48 demons. Yeah, I actually read like the back. And he survives because someone is like making him to kind of like a half a puppet human, kind of cyborg, but to be like kind of like character circles, like half puppet, half man, right? Or like Sasori in Naruto. So spoiler, Naruto. But you know what I mean. Something like that, so kind of puppet human thing, right? Yeah. And these demons then, they can, they are now free to roam the world, right? Because they have his body parts. Each has one body part. So he's kind of like, he's doing all the stuff too, kind of. but his mainly is out to kind of like, you know, kill evil people, right? Kill the evil samurai, so on, but also of course like removing those demons that are out now at his body parts, right? And also kind of retrieving them. So it's a cool anime. It looks really, really cool if you look at the trailer and so on. I think it's gonna be a very good anime. But yeah, the story is definitely kind of old story, fantastic story. So again, it reminds me of Kaguya-sama, because like a, you know, remake of an older manga and anime, but done by a really good studio in modern graphic and so on, right? So it looks really bloody. Balls are flying everywhere. It's very, very seinen. And also, I like the whole yokai, like Neo and so on. I like the whole Japanese, you know, feudal Japan with demons, and they have all this crazy yokai. So I think it's gonna be a very good anime. I recommend it. It looks just very, very good to me at least. But also, I admit that I am a little biased, because I really like the whole mythological aspect, the whole yokais again, right? The Japanese demons are very interesting. So I think that I'm a little biased. Then we have 3D Girl, Kanojou, Real Girl Season 2. This was my most disappointing anime of spring this year. It's, I thought it was gonna be really good, and it was just pretty okay. I don't hate 3D Girl Kanojou. It's not an anime where I feel like, oh, this is bad. It's more like, it's pretty mediocre, yeah. Next season after that we had, of course, Motokai, which is a really good anime. Very good anime. And this is like, yeah. The problem with this anime is that it's first of all, it's kind of dull. It's kind of slow. Animation-wise, it's really bad. Color-wise, it's really bad. Like, it's just, aesthetically, it's very, very appalling in my opinion. They have a lot of short. Actually, it's not bad as that other anime. That's not bad. But anyway, it's pretty bad. Like, the graphics are bad, and I mean, like the setting of color schemes in the background and so on, it's a mess. This is one complete mess. And the characters are just kind of boring and so on. It's like about a guy. He has, you know, he's a nerd, and then he just talks to a girl. He's gonna die or something, and she becomes his girlfriend. He can't believe it, and she's kind of awesome. The problem with that too is that she's really awesome, and he can't really handle it. And it's like, compare this to Bunny Senpai. Bunny Senpai this season, one of the best anime this year, an amazing anime. I love Bunny Senpai. I said love to watch this video, but I really do love Bunny Senpai. I watched it before I did this video, and I really, really love Bunny Senpai. I am in love with Maya. She's amazing. But yeah, like the writing and the banter and dialogue in Bunny Senpai is just out of this world good. This anime has the reverse of that. The banter is really, really plain. It's just a lot like the dialogue is just really poor. They can't talk to each other, and especially the main character when the girlfriend is like, "Oh, I love you," you know, she's like, "I like you," and he's like, "Why would you love me? I'm a loser nerd." And he's like, "What?" Yeah, like he's really boring, and his self-hatred and self-loathing is so frustrating to watch the anime, because I mean, I understand. I'm a nerd. I'm a geek. People didn't like me, right, when I was growing up. Because probably all the reasons. No, because I'm a geek mainly, right? And so on. But if someone told me that they liked me, of course I'd be like, why would you like me? Like, I'm a cynical person, but I wouldn't be like, why? She's like, no, but I like the things. Like, oh, that's great, you liked me. For me, yeah, I'll be awesome. He's more like, no, you can't like me, I'm not worthy, and he runs away crying. That's kind of the main character. I'm a little hyperbolic, but it's kind of how it is. So I say, skip this anime, in my opinion at least. Very not worth your time. I watched like the first 4 episodes, then I just gave up. Yeah, I was like, no, I give up. I just give up. So then we have this anime, Minority Games. Sorry, Minority Friends, but it's a game story. I was like fully asleep. So this anime, I'm a little torn about. Also, really, there's an image for this now, but side games, I think they make pretty good games. And the thing is that I really loved Uma Musume, and I wish I had an Uma Musume button. No, I don't, and I'm tired of finding out. Yeah, Uma Musume was a very good anime. I actually really loved the horse racing anime. It was a really good anime. Yeah, I actually really, really enjoyed the anime. It was super funny, super cute. Like I thought it was gonna be, you know, some kind of furry, crazy stuff. And you know, I like furries, but it's gonna be more like furries, right? But it was more like, yeah, it was genuinely fun. It was weird. Anyway, it was a great anime. This is by them again. Another anime though, based on a game. But Uma Musume really worked. Really, really worked. And this is similar, you know, kind of like a half dragon, half demon girl, whatever, something, right? It's kind of similar So I don't know, I'm gonna give it a chance. Again, because I really love Ueno-san. This might be really good. And we will see what it goes from that. We see what it goes from that, yeah. But it definitely lives on the Ueno-san stuff. Anyway, Boogie Pop. This is a mystery. So anime, I love mysteries of animes. So it's very interesting. It's kind of like, you know, outwardly, urban legends, right? You know, death and so on. You speak her name, she arrives, and so on. But I think though with kind of animes, and I can stand by here, is that these kind of mystery animes, and let's face it here, not animes, but mystery and horror in general, always have an issue, and that's the last episode, right? So I say this every season, but I love horror. I watch a lot of horror, even like, you know, I mean live action horror, because I feel the horror genre is one of the few genres in the West where they actually have crazy ideas, right? Anime, obviously I like anime more than I like most live stuff, because anime is much more expression, right? It's much more creative, so. They have much more guts, right, when they do anime and manga. The West is much more afraid of doing, you know, weird stuff and so on, right? They have much better stories. Except in Golden Kamuy, this season, in my opinion. It's crazy all the time, but it's so good, right? They would never do that in Hollywood, right? All the yaoi stuff in the Golden Kamuy would never happen, right? It's super boring. But one thing though that they do share, Hollywood and Japan and so on, is the horror issue of the reveal, right? So usually you have a horror anime or TV show, whatever, right? And it can be really good, and then suddenly it's like the next episode, it's like, wait, he's the murderer? Why would he be the murderer? And it's like, you know, so kind of like, oh, contrary plan of this thing, and you're like, no, that makes no sense. She should be the murderer. And it's just like, sometimes they have this massive reveal, or it's like, oh, here's the supernatural anime, and you think, oh, I see, yeah, it's a ghost something, maybe like a demon with possessed people. Then it's like, no, it actually was just a human doing it. Like, that could be really good, but it's sometimes better to leave it open for, you know, the viewer to get themselves all right. So I think that is why I put it so in yellow here. Because I do like this thing. I think it's gonna be a good anime, but I'm always a little afraid of watching horror animes and saying that they're gonna be great animes, because it's kind of like I don't want to spoil it. I'm gonna say animes now. I think it could be animes in my head right now. I see this year, and they have been good until to a certain point where they kind of start revealing the plot behind everything, and it's like, this is just stupid. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about maybe half horror stuff in general of the anime, something like that, right? So I think that Boogie Pop generally has the kind of issue with that. It's kind of like not necessarily, but that's like a preview. It's like, you know, yeah, of course, going past the thing. Let's go past this thing. Everyone knows about JoJo. Then we have Revision. This is an anime I think can be pretty good. It's like mecha fighting. They jump into this thing and they fight big mechas, right? No, but it's like it's about, how to say, the classic anime about schoolgirls. No, no, but teenagers that are into fighting, protecting their city from something alien or aliens or aliens or other mechas or other kids with mechas, or you get my point, right? It's basically, it's like a few people, they get access to fight with mechas, right? And it's gonna be like monsters appearing and to fight with mechas or whatever, right? They're gonna fight, and it actually looks pretty interesting, but I'm a little bit like, I have seen the general premise a million times before, right? Evangelion, and then, well, even before Evangelion, I've seen the general premise with Kaguya and so on appearing, and mechas, and they fight. And it's a original anime, it's not based on anything, so we can't really see. I mean, the tropes are there, right? The cliche premise is there. It might be really good, again, but we don't have any manga I also want to compare it to. So it might be really, really creative, actually. It might be amazing. So I'm gonna give it a few episodes chance. And but I kind of like what I saw, so I'm recommending. It's like, yeah, give it a chance. We see what it goes. Then we have my shoujo Asuka, which is like a maid fighting anime, and I think it looks really cool in the trailer and so on. So this is basically, again though, Earth is being attacked by southern monsters, right, and so on. And these like really badass female warriors are gonna fight them with their powers of magical holy god power, so on. And they kind of fight it like sex after so on. But it looks really cool. I like the animation. I actually really like how it looked. It's kind of bloody, kind of brutal, right? So I think it's gonna be a good anime. It's probably not gonna be the best anime with that kind of deep philosophical point and so on. But I think it's gonna be a very entertaining, badass anime, like badass female warriors battling against aliens. So I think it's gonna be a cool anime, an anime you can enjoy watching and not really caring maybe too much about the story. And then on the blue one, of course, Ride with the Wind. I absolutely recommend the anime. Prashinaji does very good sport anime. So we have Hayaku, of course, Ballroom, as I'm a big fan of Ballroom as well. Very big fan of Ballroom. And so Ride with the Wind, I think it's a good anime right away. But the last 3 episodes have been even the best ones. Last week and 2 weeks ago, amazing. So the anime is getting better and better. I'm really happy it's getting another season or continuation, yeah. So I am definitely watching it. And if you haven't watching it, I recommend it. It's a very good anime. Very, very good. It's getting better too. So it's actually a very, very good anime. And then this Grim the Notes, the animation, it's second one more of these game-based anime strikes. A couple of games animes each season, these kind of recent times. And they are usually pretty bad, right? As I mentioned earlier with Side Games one, it's kind of like, well, I really like my Musume, so I'm giving them a chance. Otherwise, I stay away from these animes, and I am very unlikely gonna watch it unless a lot of people tell me, please watch the anime, it's really good. Then I'll give it a try. But otherwise, personally, I think it looks really boring. Or I don't say boring, but it's kind of typical plain. And also in the sense that it's based on a game. So if you haven't played a game, it's gonna be kind of hard to relate to the anime because you're gonna skip out half the stuff in the anime because you kind of expect that you are one of the gamers, right? Because you kind of assume that as you would watch the anime, it actually makes sense, honestly, in the perspective. So it's not I think it's gonna be like it's probably a good anime if you play the games, right? But I haven't played the games, and I don't think most people have outside Japan. So let's go on. Another type Moon thing. I don't mind them, but yeah, it's like there are a lot of Fate friends, right? No one understands the Fate friends side, so let's go on. Oh yeah, another blue one. Karakura Circus. One of the best anime this season. A very, very good anime. The pacing is a little too high, I feel sometimes though, but it's a very interesting anime coming out tomorrow, right? Fighting with puppets and all the optimization. It's very horrific scenes. People keep dying all the time. Just to say horror up here. It really should say horror up there because, man, this anime is horrible. I also read that the image here probably is Francine in the middle there. I realized. But anyway, I was like, wait a minute. When I see the image, I realized who's in the middle there. It has to be her, right? But yeah, very good anime. Great mystery. The fights are amazing. It's very, very cool. It's extremely badass anime. I love it. I absolutely recommend it. Check it out. It's super high paced though. It's so much of happening in every episode. That one and Golden Cameo things was, yeah. Another anime, continuation, Hinamaru Sumo, another talent for me. The best sport anime this season. I think it's better than Randomly. I think both of them are really good. But this one is better, I think. It's even better. I know a lot of manga fans really love the manga and hate the anime, right? I know a lot of people. They are like, this is the worst anime ever. They keep saying it every week, but in my opinion, it's from an anime only. And I understand that if I read the manga, I probably would hate the anime. Who knows? But I probably would say that the anime is worse. But if you haven't read the manga, the anime is really good. Like, the anime is fantastic, and I assume that the manga is even better, probably, right? But not having like the manga, the manga knowledge, the anime is like, wow, cool battles, cool training, awesome tournament. Like, it's really, really super hype, badass sport anime. So it's like the ignorance is a bliss, right? When I don't know what I'm missing out of, it's like a 9 out of 10 anime all the time for me. Maybe I'm missing out at least, yeah, and maybe I'm missing out on so much good stuff though. But knowing about it is amazing. So I know a lot of people hate it because they love the manga so much, but and I understand that because usually I am one of those people that hate the adoption. Because I'm like, what's this thing? And you see me with Marvel stuff, I'm always like, what is this? Ant-Man should make Ultron, and yeah, I hate them. I kind of hate the Marvel universe, right? Because the Marvel movie universe, because they never adopt the correct stuff from the actual painting. That's my other painting, yeah. they never adopt the good stuff, right? So I understand, I can relate to the emotion. I'm just saying that here I'm more assuming from an anime perspective, at least from my perspective, as a complete noob on the topic of that medium, it's amazing. So it's kind of like, for anime only watch list, I recommend it. But anyway, girly Air Force. I took an image from a trailer. It's very girly. so it's like, I always like it. Yeah, oh, it's a massive pink airship. People, they fly airplanes, they fight aliens. This is the third time I mentioned this premise. This premise is like, it's the Evangelion premise, right? Or whatever. It's like, you know, that typical premise. Oh, we have something, mecha airplane, massive girls, mechas, something, monster Kaguya arrive from space, fight them, go back home, cry about it, fight them, go back home, have sex about it, kinda, try and sex about it, fight them, go back home, kill someone you love, or maybe betray someone, fight them, go back home, maybe have sex, maybe cry, maybe something else, maybe confused thing, go back, fight them, you know, and that's like the world explodes or the world is cured. Like, that is pretty much the premise, right? That's pretty much, it's gonna be this anime. I'm telling you guys. Like, that's half this anime. But yeah, this anime, again, it's the same premise, like I mentioned twice already, right? Aliens arrive, this time they're called Sai, with a C, not the weapon with an S, and they attack people, right? But mankind has aircraft called daughters, and they fight them. It looks actually somewhat decent, but I could see it going anyway because it's like the most basic premise anyway. This, honestly, I couldn't find anything about it. It's just past it. It's very yaoi. Persona 5, based on the game, right? A very good game, amazing game. Love the Jokers in Smash for that matter. That's a very good thing. Yeah, but obviously an anime on that game, and it's, yeah, you should watch the game first. My brother also loved this game. Yeah, very good game. Then we have kind of like an introvert guy. This part of the world finds a cat, and how does play this anime? I don't know really how to explain it. It's like he can. The cat gives him creative ideas or something. Something like that. Yeah, it looks pretty decent. I read chapter 1. I'm giving it a chance, but I think it's like the kind of the bottom medium there. Question 2. Okay, Ikki tousen here. This is a very good anime. I obviously like the whole trash vibe of Ikki tousen. You see, like, yeah, let's fight. It was little panties. It's like, pantsu. Yeah, Ikki tousen is a great anime. This is like season 4, maybe. Ikki tousen that is about a couple of girls, right? And they are really good fighters. Actually, men too, but mainly about like really hot, badass ladies, and they're really good fighters. And it's a lot of ecchi, you know, angles, and it's a lot of brutal fights. And actually, the fights are really good. Yeah, they're really, really good. And the opposites are awesome. So actually, I think it's gonna be a great anime. Why is it yellow here? Obviously, I'm gonna. Oh yeah, now I remember. Because maybe you should watch the pre-season for it though. But honestly, I would organize Ikki tousen. I haven't seen it obviously season yet. But you probably can watch this Ikki tousen without seeing the other ones, because it's kind of like, you know, hot girls to do badass fights. That's pretty much it, right? So anyway, I think it's a good anime franchise. It's really fun. I like it at least. Obviously, it's not gonna be the anime where you're like, oh yes, the meaning of life. It's not gonna be that anime where you change your opinion of the meaning of life. But it's good anime. Okay, so Eiga no Daika. Future. People are living on different planets. 2 girls are gonna meet each other. They are from 2 different planets, and they're gonna do stuff, and they're gonna also fight like aliens. Yeah, so it's not the same thing, but it's very, very similar to the other 3 animes about girls in mechas fighting aliens to save mankind against alien monsters, or maybe alien mechas. It's pretty much is that thing, except they're not on Earth anymore. They're out in space fighting. Actually, it might be pretty good. I'm like, yeah, okay, this might be a good one. You know, it's hard to say with animes because they make animes. You know, they kind of like, they have kind of their very formulatic approach to it, right? It is, I would say it's the Evangelion curse. It's kind of like, oh yeah, let's do this thing. Why the main character? If it's a male, it's gonna be why the main character. If it's a female, she's gonna be really badass, like Noko's badass. She's gonna be like, yeah. Male's gonna be like, oh, it's fun, I have a girlfriend, and yeah, they're gonna be that usually. and they're gonna fight right, and they're gonna maybe have some sex in the mecha, maybe like Northern France. So France made it good though, because like they had to like do it while driving. That's a great touch to it. But it's gonna be something like that, right? And they're gonna have their touch to it. That's what people flipping like Darling in France, because not just was Zero 2 a very awesome character, but used to pervert the touch to it. They were like, yeah, mecha riding. That was kind of like how to do the mecha, and it was so hilarious. People were like, oh, even if the premise is very, very what we've seen before. And I was like, it's probably gonna be aliens that are the ape. They're either alien or it's the Matrix. I was like, oh, I was right. Oh yeah, it's a big surprise. Like, even if that, it's very obvious that it's something like that, right? I know, yeah, that the Clucks were also defending himself against. Okay, so I was supposed to, but anyway, I was pretty much on pretty much everything I predicted from Darling in France happened, right? But I still kind of enjoyed it because, like, man, it's a mecha anime, but it made it even more perverted. I love it. I respect that, and I love Zero 2. I respect that, guys. I was like, I respect the creativity. Here's, you know, the similar thing. It's always gonna be a similar premise, right? Like Darling in France and so on, or the mecha anime. It's gonna be some kind of aliens fighting, and yeah, you get the point. And but it might be good. I think it depends again on what they do with it, right? What they do with the actual basic formula, right? So. Another kind of like not reverse harem, but it's like, yeah, well, yeah, it's a Yuri harem. Okay, it's a girl and she has like 5 girlfriends. Okay, let's go on. It might be good. It's pretty funny. I read a few. It's like a 4-panel joke. I read a few of them. They're pretty funny. Sometimes for Koma, there's on the 4-panel jokes. Sometimes they work horrible in anime. It depends on what the company does and so on. Like Yashi Dropkick, this is a 4-comer, right? Yeah, that was really boring in my opinion. Sorry, I think it was boring. This one to me was like, yeah, it's pretty okay. It might be good anime. Hard to say, I feel, because I think the 4-comma are hit and miss on a comedy usually as anime. So I think we have to see the episodes if it's good or not. But it might be good. It might be good. Let's see next season. Similar here, Ueno-san. I think it fits a little better than the other one. But it's like, you know, it's Panzer joke right away. You see the trailer and like, who doesn't like a Panzer joke? So it's about a girl that is like super genius, and you know she loves a guy and science, right? And it's gonna be kind of like a little more, just a little more outwardly, it's a little more crazy, right? So it's a bit a little more etchy, also a little more, you know, taking a little more steps. That's a little of Shio-san. So I like that. I think it's gonna be more funny than the previous one. I think this one is more. I think. From the trailer, this is one. I think this in the manga, this one here is funnier than this one. But neither of them are in my book like Asubasu. They're not like they don't seem to be like absurdly funny. But it's to be pretty funny. I might be wrong. It might be super funny. But I'm definitely giving it a chance. It's like pretty funny. Another anime where also giving it a chance. So it's like pretty cool badass girls. They fight with airplanes. I'm honestly, it's like another one of this. Actually, no, this is a little different. There's a flying like a normal kind of like an actual military airplane. They're not flying mechas, they're actually are pilots and so on. It actually looks pretty decent. It's hard to say with animes because there's no manga. It's original anime. Usually means better because it's written for the anime, right? But it's nothing to really go on. So it's steampunky, it's a little bit adventure, you know, like a girl squad out fighting in war. It looks pretty good. It's pretty good. And yeah, music anime. I'll just skip this order with me. Coming another one later on. And this one reminds me that anime was so bad. Culturally, it was so bad. So this is like a game about people in the future that lives in Akihabara, right? The big nerd place in Japan, basically, in Tokyo, and they fight stuff, right? It definitely reminds me of the anime they did last year, I think. That was really bad and no one liked. But this looks hotter. The character looks more pretty, so it might be okay. But it's kind of like it's not a game and so on. And this is like a mix sort of life, magical, cute girls fighting evil demon lords. It's kind of like a parody on it. So I actually kind of like it. This looks pretty interesting. It also has no manga, so you can't really read what you happy about. But basically, it's like, how say it, 4 girls, they have their powers and so on. But it's more played for laughs, right? It's more played for, yeah, it's more like comedy. And you kind of like, yeah, we're heroes, people do that. It's more like that, more than it's like we have to go on an adventure. It's more comedic. So I think it might be really fun. They have a parody on the other ones. This I honestly have no idea. I couldn't find much, but it's like harem and shoujo, so I think it's like a reverse harem anime. It's probably awesome actually, but yeah. And then we have Circle Princess, which is like girls are fighting in future and they have nice butts and so on. But yeah, but it's like they're fighting in digital world and it's like a sport anime, and the sport that they they transform into this, of course, badass warriors inside of the mecha world, and they fight, and it actually looks pretty cool actually. Civil Link does this pretty well, so I think that actually might be a somewhat entertaining anime and kind of sexy and so on, but not more much than that. Yeah, it's like a pretty funny sport anime, like yeah, decent sport anime. And then have I watched this first. What is one? So Kamuri means smoke, right? So it's like Kamuri Kus. It's like it's so ugly. I watched the anime. It was one of the ugliest things I've seen in my life. This year list was like super boring aesthetics, really boring in my opinion. Maybe the story is amazing, but it looked horrible at least, animation-wise. Maybe it's gonna be like Hoshino Kuni, and it's like, oh, it's CG, and then you're like, and then you watch it like, oh my god, the story's so good, and it actually works. Maybe it's like that, but what I saw, it just looked really bland, and I was like, no interest in it. It's like a music anime. This thought was reverse harem kind of music anime. It's like a lot of hot boys. I don't mind. I like myself some Bishonen guys. But my opinion, I think that this kind of harem animes, or generally like Bishonen animes, because it feels interesting enough, is more common with like a lot of when it's like a lot of male characters than female characters. But I'm not a big fan of when it's like 20 guys, right? It's kind of anime. I can't remember right now, but it's a girl. She gets like 14 new brothers, and they're all hot guys. And she's like, oh, which one do I love? And it's like, which one should I have sex with? Kind of like, yeah. And that is pretty funny because it's like boys 12, where like every boy is one moe thing. Oh, the hot one, the gay one. Yeah, every boy is like something. The strong one, the silent one, yeah, the smart one. It's like one of each moe, right? And it's the same here, right? It's like all the different types are here. But in my opinion, the problem then makes them very, very shallow. It's like they're used their moe type, and they're having the time to actually learn to know the character. So I feel they're not that attractive in my opinion, because they're very like the face value of their generic type. You have like 20 male characters that you're gonna quickly go over 1 minute per character, right? It's kind of weird. So I prefer it was like 5 hot boys. That would be more in my opinion. Goldfin is right. That. Kevin Noah Friends, and a lot of people love this. I'm probably gonna watch it. Yeah, Kevin Noah Friends, but it's a pretty good anime. I never really got really ugly. Dimension High School, because this is like live action plus CG, and it's like really ugly CG, and it's a mix of them standing in real life and turning into like super ugly CG stuff, and it's just like, my god, this is so ugly. Like, the CG is horrible, and the live action is them standing in a school like, yeah, let's join this. It's like it's horrendously bad. It leaves aesthetically like it's so bad. Let's go. Oh yeah, yaoi. Some yaoi. This is just short. Like, this is the actual ecchi episode, right? From now this is actual, right? Borderline hentai stuff, right? So it's by the guy that's like gonna be like a help out a single dad guy's place, and he's gonna have a lot of sex with the dad right there. They're gonna do it a lot right there. So this is like straight up yaoi, like real yaoi anime right there. Like, this is yaoi as yaoi can be. Yeah, this anime. Bermuda sort of life. Oh, whatever. I have no idea what it is. I think we kind of down the bottom now. Yeah, I'm like, yeah. Now it's like a comedy anime. Might be fun. Oh yeah, this thing is really weird. Yeah, this is really weird. Rinchi Koda-san. Yeah, it's like a really weird 4-panel. I'm definitely gonna watch this. Like, mature woman jokes. Yeah, it's like it's not just, it's yosei more than seinen, I guess. Yeah, it's like female author writing about female stuff, or then it's just like the children stuff now. Yeah, so children stuff. Yeah, let's go to quickly here. I talk about the movies. It's gonna be a Shounen movie. It's gonna be Kaguya. I think it's like Eureka 7 coming for the better, so maybe not. And it lags a lot for some reason. Okay, so 7 Deadly Sins. Obviously, I'm gonna watch this. I love 7 Deadly Sins. Gonna watch it absolutely. Code Geass, yeah. Code Geass is getting more, so they have to watch that, of course. Danmansai is getting more. Oh my god, Danmansai is finally getting a continuation. Sense of Life, spin-off. Was pretty okay. I actually liked spin-off. I actually think it was pretty good. But yeah, finally more Danmansai, right? Like season 2 is a movie instead. But that is at least something. I'm happy about that. Like a Stray Dog to gaming. That's like similar, like yeah, with Yokosenki. There's like Dragon Ball, yeah, more Dragon Ball and so on. And then it's like Prince and Sacrifice and so on. But yeah, for me, it's Danmansai is the big one, definitely. As the movies, OVAs, I think more OVA. But yeah, My Hero Academia has an OVA coming, right? That's pretty cool. Yeah, and then it's like the more ecchi animes, right? Like Yuragan, I have to watch that thing. And oh yeah, this is what I look forward to the most, definitely. Definitely. It's coming one more episode of Asobase at December 26th. Oh man, that's what I'm like. That's what I'm Christmas drinking. But so after I'm not drunk anymore, maybe then I'm gonna watch this thing and I'm gonna die from laughter. This is the shit, guys, of the OVAs. Man, I love the thing. Yeah, and then there's like whatever. Yeah. So anyway, that kind of concludes the preview recommendation of the next anime season, right? My biggest definitely is Promised Neverland, as I mentioned. Then I'm looking forward to some of the other like popular ones here. Like Kaguya-sama is probably my second one. I think the manga is really well done. I think it's really fun. I was already watching actually more. I'm obsessed. One Punch Man is coming in the spring, and I'm like, One Punch Man. It's gonna be like watching this thing and be like, One Punch Man's coming soon. And that's how I'm gonna feel mostly when I watch Mob Psycho. Where's my One Punch Man? I'm actually probably gonna enjoy Kakegurui though, because I kind of like I either love it or hate it or both at the same time. And that's pretty enjoyable. Yeah, Promise Neverland, here it is. But this is actually my number one, number two here next to here in popularity. I think they are gonna be the two top ones. Anyway, hope you like this preview of and talks about anime next year. If you have animes you should recommend, I should watch this all right. Am I wrong? Tell me I'm an idiot. No, but I mean, of course, there are a lot of animes that I haven't read the full mangas. I usually go in. Some of them I have read, right? Some other ones I haven't like read it. I mean, I usually read like at least one chapter before I do this thing, and I watch the trailers, right, and so on. But because I want to also watch the anime, which is coming, I don't want to read too much, right? So I did like one chapter, and then I'm like, yeah, this is pretty good. I'm gonna watch this, and then I don't read more because I'm like, I don't want to get spoiled, right? And even when I'm like, this is pretty good, I still like, okay, press the yellow button, and I then go to go further because I don't want to, of course, be spoiled. So I still just read like 1 or 2 chapters just to get a feel of it. Rarely do I read more. I remember once when I read Surgery Children, and that is a really funny anime. Recommend it really much. And I read chapter 1 of that. I was like, this is really funny. One more chapter. I need to read more. And I was like, 5 chapters. Like, okay, stop it. I have the anime is coming tomorrow. I was like, no, yeah, like don't count that. I was like, man, this is so funny. I keep reading it. And I actually stopped myself. I was like, man, I want to actually do like a real blind library. Like, stop it. Stop reading it. But yeah, sometimes it happens. But man, that is a really funny anime. Anyway, hope this video. See you guys tomorrow, or maybe it's out tomorrow with Zombieland Sega and Karakuri Circus.